Hey guys, Deathbyphiw here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to have a video about the support role and if there's actually a problem with them today in the meta. Are they still broken or are they now weak? Stick around. Well, first and foremost, the support role in Overwatch 2 has been by far the strongest role in the game for multiple seasons. I mean, they had super broken heroes with super broken abilities. Kiriko, Ana were just running around wreaking havoc, and we're just hard meta. Their ults are broken, their abilities are broken, their healing and damage output were broken, especially Kiriko. Her rush ability, her ultimate is just like one of the best ultimates in the game. She had the ability to cleanse herself and just teleport out. Basically, get out of jail free cards galore for her. Ana has her sleep ability, her anti-nade, but things have changed. Things have changed tremendously in Season 9, especially with another not mid-season, but a patch after a week. I feel like supports are a little bit in a gray area at the moment. And before you go all crazy, I'm not saying supports are weak. They still are strong, but I don't think they're the strongest role in the game right now. I really do think tanks are obviously still the worst role in the game, but it's DPS season. I feel like DPS have taken over. Dive is king, damage is meta, and we may have a little bit of a problem with the support role. A lot of supports like Mercy, Lifeweaver have just completely fallen out of the mix as support heroes, as well as Illari. I mean, it's almost impossible in high elo to play these three heroes, so it just wipes out three heroes of being part of the meta, being part of even being playable, because I feel like if you pick Mercy now, unless you have a really good DPS to pocket, she is not viable whatsoever. Yes, she works in some comps. Yes, maybe in lower elo she does some work, but in higher elo, specifically there, you know, where the game is basically so much more difficult to play, and everybody really knows how to play their characters, Mercy is just not doing well. I'll say that the same for Lifeweaver. Yeah, he has a really good ultimate. Yeah, he has his grip ability, pull you back, but it's just not working out in the current situation. And the same thing with Illari. Just 2 weeks of heals and her damage is not worth it. She can't 2-tap anyone anymore, so her value before Season 9 is now gone. Right off the bat, we have 1, 2, 3 support heroes that I feel are not viable pretty much at all in almost most situations. Mercy being the one caveat of pocketing a really good DPS hero, or like you have a duo or something. That's the one caveat that you can get away with, but she still feels quite underwhelming to play. Next up, we're talking about middle pack. Kiri and Ana aren't meta anymore. They're still good, but dive is so prevalent on DPS and on tanks that if you're running Ana and you miss that sleep shot, like, you're done, you're dead. Her nade isn't that strong anymore. I believe it only gives her about 50 HP. She could be quickly melted and destroyed by a Tracer or a Sombra or a Diva or a Winston, any sort of dive hero is coordinating a dive on you and she's just deleted. Yes, she works in certain comps. Yes, she's not bad. I think she's okay. She's pretty good, but not broken as she was before. She's very situational today. Or if you're an Ana main and you play her well, you can get away with it. ML7 has said this before too, but I'm watching all these big content creators streams, support players as well. Not a lot of Ana plays going on. Kiri is getting a bit more play than Ana, but she's not as broken as she was before. Yeah, she has some crazy good abilities. Yeah, she does quite a bit of damage, but her ability to 2-tap squishies is gone. Her risky play is not as high reward as it was before. I think that's kind of good for the game because she's just was beyond broken, and I'm not complaining about it whatsoever, but I don't think she's broken anymore. I think she's pretty good. She's better than Ana, but not broken, and also probably more situational as well, not as much as Ana. So we've got about 5 heroes right now in the support pool that I would say are either 3 of them just not viable whatsoever and 2 of them just being okay and more situational picks. Now we're moving up in the meta, and who's the meta right now? You can argue that it's Zen, Lucio, and Moira. So these three heroes are played pretty much exclusively in all high elo matches. You see a lot of Moira Lucio, you see a lot of Zen Lucio or Moira Zen support matchups, like on both teams. I've played numerous games. I'm nearly in top 500 on support. I've played numerous games already this season, and more so it's turning into that kind of meta. Those three support heroes are picked. And every now and then you mix in a Brig, because Brig pairs up really well against Zen. But Zen got a little bit of a nerf. Ha got a little bit of a buff. Some other heroes got a little bit of buff. And Dive being more prevalent, Zen has less mobility. And it kind of makes him a little bit more worse of a pick. He's not as strong with the HP. And you really need to hit your shots and discord opponents correctly and not waste that ability. Still solid S tier in my opinion. Lucio S tier, but he requires a lot more skill to play. You need to know your abilities, when to use them. You need to be able to hit your shots with him, and just like be good at wall riding, be good at rollouts, stuff like that. When to speed boost and enable your team. So it's not the hardest thing to do, but it's not also the easiest. And I'll say, being that it's a problem on support right now, is Moira. Moira is so strong. Yeah, I know her utility isn't that great, but honestly, it's all about survivability. Her utility is in her ability to survive. She has a fade ability that's up, I feel like, all the time. I mean, you can go ahead, throw a damage orb at a team, press your ultimate, coalescence the team, shift into the back line, kill the Ana, kill whatever support that they have if they're not running like a Moira or Lucio. Kill whoever's there. And then as you're taking some damage, you're healing yourself up, and it's almost like impossible to kill her. Then you just fade away out, back to your team, throw a healing orb, and you just don't die. I mean, I've had so many games this season where I have 30, 35, 40 eliminations as Moira, 10 to 15,000 damage, 10 to 15,000 heals. I'm doing a crazy amount of healing, a crazy amount of damage, and we're winning games. Like, probably at like a 60 to 70% clip at the moment, climbing the ladder. So I'm not a Moira player. I don't consider myself a Moira player. I just don't think it's healthy for the game. I think it's bad for the game to have such a small pool of support heroes. And like I would say in any hero class in the game, having a small pool of support heroes being what's playable. So that's where I think the problem is. I think supports are probably right now the second best role in the game. DPS is king, and that's fine. We're in a first person shooter. That's perfectly fine with me. I personally think support should be right where they're at, and tanks need to be stronger, and DPS should be able to carry games and really provide more impact, because they're the damage dealers. And tanks should get more love. But right now, I feel like we have a problem with supports because the hero pool just seems so small. It's like you're running Lucio, Zen, Moira, and every now and then you get a BAP, maybe a Kiri or an Ana. And that's all there is. I would say 75% of my games are Lucio, Moira, Zenyatta. 75%. And it's just those three exclusively. Every 1 in 4 games, I get maybe a Kiri or an Ana, or I'm playing a Kiri, Ana, or a BAP. It's crazy. And in those games, I'm playing those heroes because maybe the meta, they're not playing the meta, or maybe it just requires us to be able to do something a little differently. Let's say Ana on Junkertown, which she does really well on. I'm playing her because of the map. I'm playing her because of what my team's playing. Same thing with like Kiri, same thing with BAP. It really does depend. Like, do I have a Sig? I'll probably run a Baptiste. I could maybe even run an Ana. But even in those situations, I feel like it's a little bit more of a struggle playing those supports. And the whole Zen, Lucio, Moira pick just seems a better, easier, and safer and stronger way to play the game. And is this bad? I don't know. Is it bad for the game? I think Moira being strong with the meta is bad for the game. I don't think she's necessarily broken because of the type of hero she is. I think she's broken because the meta makes her broken. The fast-paced play makes her broken. The survivability and health pools increased across the game makes her broken. Her ability to do a lot of damage and healing and survive makes her broken. And just a support pool play, it's like you're playing Lucio Zen, you're playing Moira. It just feels so like bleh. It feels so boring. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I am by no means complaining. I am a support main, also a DPS player as well. I flex a lot. I play all roles, but mostly DPS and support. I'm curious to hear what you think. Do you think we're heading in the right direction? Do you think dive is, in this situation, the best to be playing? And how is it affecting support? So tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd like to hear. Well, as always, happy gaming.